the next game on our list, hopefully you weren't saying that this one is going to be a stinker, because this should be an absolute shootout. And by that, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen in this game. But that's why we pay you guys the big bucks, for you to tell me what's going to happen in this game. It's the Detroit Lions at 3-6, traveling to take on the Giants at 7-2. The 7-2 Giants, that's just, I don't think I'll ever get over saying that one this season. But they are 7-2. They're favorites in this game by just 3 points, with an over-under of 45. Now, Aaron, I always go to you with these questions. You can laugh at me. You can rip on me all you want. But if my math and my memory serves me correctly, that when we look at the spread, we look at the lines on things, the home team gets 3 points automatically. That's how this works. The Giants
you have definitely take that and run with that. It's not always.
But really what I'm trying to get at here is this is a 7-2 New York Giants team that I feel like continues to get disrespected in terms of like who they're matched up against. The Lions, sure, they're coming off back-to-back wins, a big win last week for them. They beat the Packers before. Like, they're getting some good wins, but when do we start giving the credit to the New York Giants? Is this disrespectful to only say that they're 3-point favorites?
No. Look at the Giants. Look at the way the Giants play football. They every game has been a one-score game except for one. Every game has been a one-score football game. It doesn't matter who they play. The Bears, one-score game. The Jaguars, one-score game. Green Bay, one-score game. Titans, one-score game. Texans, one-score game. It doesn't matter. And to be honest, that Seattle game was a one-score game until the end. Richie James kept fumbling the damn ball, and Seattle ended up beating them. But every game they've played in has been a one-score game. So Vegas also accounts for trends and trending like, hey, we know how this team plays football. They run the ball. It's low scoring. They need everything to go right in order for them to have a really good day. So having a one-score game or a 3-point line is not surprising to me. This team is not over the top on offense. They are not superior to a lot of teams offensively. They do rely heavily on Saquon Barkley, and I don't think that changes in this game. I think they are going to play their brand of football. The difference is, are they going to be able to take the football away from Detroit? Because if they are, then they can win by more than 3. If they're not, then it's going to be a one-score game at the end of the game, and maybe they win because they're the better football team, but it still will be a one-score game. So, no, it doesn't shock me that – and I don't feel like this is disrespect. Disrespect is when you go and you give somebody an 11, 10, 12-point spread just because they've been winning football games and they have a nice record, and you're not accounting for all the other factors. That, to me, that's when you start getting disrespectful lines. I think this is a respect to the Detroit Lions that they play tough and that the Giants are not a juggernaut offensively and haven't been able to just put teams away. And I think that's what this line represents. No, I don't think it's inaccurate. I think if you wanted to push it to 4 or 5, you could. But this is the NFL, man. I say it every week. These games are one-score games for the majority of the time, and I expect this game to be another tight football game, at least until the end. And then, something happens where there's an extra score and you win by a touchdown or 2. That can happen. But for the most part, this is going to be a close game.
Yeah. AJ, what are you keeping an eye on in this game, either on the Lions side or it can be on the Giants side if we want to continue talking Giants?
No, we can go over to the Lions side. I think he did a good job covering what the Giants are going to be looking to do. On the Lions side, I mean, this is an exciting week for the Lions organization and the Lions fandom. They have a chance for a 3-game win streak. Who would have saw that coming at the beginning of the season? And honestly, it's in a good spot. Now, what New York has been able to do this season, it's been very impressive. We're all excited that New York football's back. I think that's good for the NFL. But the Lions have a pretty good formula to be able to stick around with the New York Giants. They've stuck around with a lot of good teams over this past season. If they can get DeAndre Swift out, if he's finally healthy, if they can finally give him the ball more than 13 times and still allow Jamal Williams to be a part of the offensive game plan, this New York Giants defense can be had on the run game. New York Giants like to blitz a lot. Well, Jared Goff actually is pretty good against the blitz. He's got him and Amon-Ra St. Brown have got this connection against the blitz, completing about 40% of their targets when he's blitzed compared to when he's not. So Amon-Ra last week had a great game, 10 for 11 targets. A lot of that came in the first half. I would love to see him keep a game like that going in the second half. And I understand you make adjustments on the defensive side of the ball. You start to, focus on the guy that's been hurting you all day. But in the same respect, the offense should focus on the guy that's been getting you where you're going and helping you get that W. So they have the right formula. Their players, this offense works best when DeAndre Swift is back, when Amon-Ra St. Brown is healthy, and Jared Goff is going to his best guys. And against a team like the New York Giants, who keep the game close until the end, I think that's a dangerous game to play with the Detroit Lions. Now, I didn't go that direction, but I can see it. I can see this one also feeling like somewhat of a coin flip, and I flipped my coin with the New York Giants, who have been winning close games. I take them 30-27.
Yeah, I agree, but I think it's a little too high of scoring. I don't know that their Giants
Yeah,
could score
I actually
30
meant to say
points.
those exact words.
Um,
Score's kind of high, but
yeah, I don't know that they could get to that high. But hey, you never know. Defenses are bad on the Detroit Lions side. So, but I think this game is close, as I mentioned, as reflected in my score. I do think the Giants are a little bit better team at this point. Defensively, they're better. I think they're coached a little bit better than what Dan Campbell's able to do. Plus, the talent of Saquon Barkley, I think, is going to be too much. Give me the Giants here, 24-23.
I will make it a clean sweep for the New York Football Giants. I'll say 26-23, another close game as well. I think, like you said, the coaching matters a lot. I think the defense matters a lot. And well, the Detroit Lions don't actually play defense, I hear, in Detroit. So give me the Giants here.
Whoa! They just held the Packers to
Yeah.
9 points 2 weeks ago.
Buddy,
What
they're
do you
like
mean?
the worst team in just about every statistical.
just won
Statistical
last week's
stats.
game due to Jeff Okudah's pick six. I mean,
Yeah, disrespectful.
Yeah, there's the disrespect. We start this game by talking disrespect. We end this game talking about disrespect. Clean sweep for the New York Giants over the Detroit Lions.